reach to that level where they are becoming a role model for other women entrepreneurs, for other fellow women. So these are some of the ways by which we can understand how agriculture and the different innovations, new technologies that is relevant to agriculture sector can support and help our women in becoming empowered through making maximum use of the digital platform. So when we talk of the digital agriculture, we are now much aware that mm, in digital agriculture also a lot of technologies has been started like in Madhvi was mentioning in the introductory session and talks that digital ICT, blockchain technology and drone and all the precision agriculture, all these things are becoming very much in use in agriculture sector also. But do you think that our women farmers and the women entrepreneurs, are they so much knowledgeable on these things? I don't think that women farmers, women entrepreneurs, I'm talking about our women farmers who turned women agripreneurs, that if you talk to them, hardly you will get any motivating or a positive side to look at it, because many a times women are not having this proper information, or they wouldn't have heard about these terms also. So getting a detailed knowledge on these things is still miles away from them. So here, although digital agriculture has a lot to contribute, so like they are everything is becoming programmed, automated. So the softwares are there which will run, apps are there which will control the agricultural practices. They will fuse the advanced technologies with the existing agricultural practices conventional by making it more digitalized through digital media. So in that, one of the way why this type of digital agriculture is gaining so much of significance is that definitely it enhances the productivity, the efficiency of a man will always be being not at the same par as efficiency of a machine or a automated system. So definitely, if there is more and more contribution and support taken from the mechanized and from the digital things, definitely the productivity of the our producers are going to enhance, and also it brings sustainability because things are already programmed, automated. We need not, a human intervention will be very less, only our intelligence is required, our physical effort is not required. So in that way it becomes more of a sustainable, because of these all features that is there. They give us a prior alarm alert that things are, if anything is going wrong, or any infestation or any such disasters, any such is going to their predictions, forecasting, weather forecasting, so many things. So there will be less loss to the standing crop in the field. Usually, why the agricultural practices fail to be sustainable? Firstly, because lot of rampant use of modern technologies, modern farming practices like chemicals and insecticide, pesticides. Now our focus is shifting towards of safer food production also, because just mere food production is not all about, but we need to have a safe food also, and that comes through sustainability, like organic farming, natural farming. The government is promoting natural farming in a very big way. So, and moreover, when we are more dependent on the digital tools, digital devices, gadgets, they take care of all these fluctuations or the untoward things that they will forecast, and they will alert us. So, in that way, because not much of loss to the farmer produce takes place, and thereby it also, when there is a sustainability, when there is high productivity, definitely it is going to reflect in their high profitability as well. So through this type of use of digital agriculture, where the farmers or the entrepreneurs, they can harness the data that is generated from the application of these tools and devices and apps, portals where these things are used. So there we have the MIS system where a lot of data can be stored and analyzed and can be used for future purpose and other things. So there we can extract a lot of data and we can have a good connectivity and also innovation. Innovation is there because there is no end to the growth of digital world, digital media. Year by year, where many new things are coming up. So likewise, it is also upgrading itself by bringing new upgraded version or new technologies, new innovations, adding new features in there. And then this is how we are reimagining agriculture in the current 21st century, that how it is going to be overpowered by the powerful tool of digital media. So in this digital agriculture, we have different things like we have precision farming, we have IoT that we call Internet of Things, e-commerce and marketplaces are there, data analytics, smart equipment, agri-tech startups. These are some of the features or the areas offered digital agriculture. We have many of things like precision agriculture. We all know that how precision is agriculture. Just the basic or mandate on an objective is to minimize the use of resources and optimize. It has to be optimized and reduce the excess use of resources, if it is required on a few plants only, but a general spray if you do on the field, then only the 10 plants is spray is required, but through general application it goes to other plants also. That is not required. So that is wastage of the inputs or the raw materials that we are applying on the crops. So precision only what is required. Very specifically, it will apply that particular thing, and very precisely it will calculate the dose and the area in which it has to be, the number of plants that require. So everything will be very precise, very specifically calculated. So that's how we can minimize the investment of resources into that by being very specific. Where we have the Internet of Things, where we see that entire things are over the internet. We are connecting over the internet, and these whatever whether all these digital agriculture and other things that we are talking about, whether it is a blockchain or it is a machine learning and all that we use. So everything is operated, controlled, or it is runs on the Internet of Things. That is the designing of and the functioning of these things depends on this. So this is where digital agriculture is becoming very important, and it has given a very good alternative to the constraints, particularly for the women entrepreneurs, for whom mobility is very much challenging. Because of their mobility challenge constraints, they are unable to sell the produce directly into the market and get the benefits out of it. For which they depend on the spouse or the male members of the family. But due to the e-commerce and digital marketing, this challenge has been very well addressed for our women farmers and women entrepreneurs. But the thing is that how many women entrepreneurs, how many women farmers are aware of it, how many of them are capable of making use of from this. So these are some of the key points that we need to think about. That is digital media being equally utilized, exploited by women farmers and entrepreneurs, whether they are FPO members. So are they making use of these equally as their other male members? Or definitely the usage of digital agriculture, different components, different features that are there. It's very, very less because firstly, we have to think about their awareness. Secondly, we have to build their knowledge. And thirdly, we have to enhance or improve their capacity building. Only when we do all these three things, then we can think of that women making the most use of the digital world offered in agriculture. So likewise, we have the data analytics where we see that a lot of data, as I mentioned, that nowadays all these ICT enabled things, they work on generating data. So when a lot of data is generated, mega data is there, it has to be analyzed to give some understanding to the common people or that what these complicated coded data means. It has to be decoded in a very simple way so that we can give some recommendations to the farmers. To go, the recommendations comes to the farmers in a very easy and understandable way, that what all these coded data means for them. So they can make use of these results of this data more efficiently. Then we have a lot smart equipments are there. Like now we have the drone app. Drone is being becoming very popular in agriculture, where it is not only in agriculture but in every sector. So these are some of the some of the things that can replace human intervention, and human can only use their intelligence and they let them do their job. So this is the only purpose of digitalizing agriculture. So but we have to think that where are the women farmers in these sector areas, the different types of precision agriculture and other things that I have discussed. Where are the farmers? How much have they benefited? Are they really useful for them? So these are some of the things. And then we have the agri-tech startups now. As I mentioned that Still India, Make in India, and all these things are being popularized, promoted as in a campaign mode, in a scheme mode. So this is where we have to see that women entrepreneurs. So that is where our women entrepreneurs also need that the features that we have observed for the women entrepreneurs is that mostly they are micro and small entrepreneurs. Women do not operate in a very formalized way, in a very uh, in a formal way, and in a very big scale. So mostly we can see that they will be doing some homestead activities in and around, but they don't become a big entrepreneurs, or like the big entrepreneurs or the medium of entrepreneur. Mostly micro and small level they operate. So that is where they are unable to firstly, they are unable to make maximum use of the digital media, and secondly is that since they are operating at the very low micro and small level, so they have a very limited resources, limited manpower. It may be only the women herself, or maybe one or two other family members or the neighbors who may be involved, but it is not at that level that it will become profitable for them to go into they utilize digital media for their entrepreneurship. Product development. Only when they upscale it, upgrade it, diversify it, then these things can go well with their existing level of at which they are operating. Secondly, when they are working at the small and micro level, definitely their exposure, their knowledge, their education, all these are very low. So it is very difficult for them that until and unless we create awareness, we educate them, we build their capacity, they will not be able to make use of this. So we have to ensure that how the women entrepreneurs, even though if they are small or marginal women entrepreneurs, how in a big or small way, just if they are able to use their smartphone, that we are talking of the very high level, very advanced digital media here, what is there in agriculture and what they can make use of it. But if you just to see that a very popular, very well gadget that is available with every family and many members within the family, are they capable of using all the features of the smartphone. Firstly, that is, but access before that, access to that smartphone itself becomes a question mark. That are the women farmers, women entrepreneurs who are from working from the rural areas, are they having access to? If they have access to, is it in their control, or is it in the name of the women, but it is being utilized by other family members and children? So this is we need to understand that mobile smartphone is very simple tool, but they are unable to make a maximum use of the smartphone itself. So these small things also, if we work towards their digital literacy, towards their financial literacy, then we can really help the women entrepreneurs to make use of the basic things that the digital media can offer to them to grow and diversify or upscale their enterprises. So here we can see that opportunities for women in digital agriculture. What are these opportunities? So these opportunities can be there only when they are well knowledgeable, they are well capacitated in terms of the usage of it, and they can take it up as an enter business mode itself. So not just learning for growing their own entrepreneurship or as their own business, but it can be a entrepreneurial avenue or opportunity for them. So by for offering goods and services, consultancy services to other clients, to other farmers, other entrepreneurs. So that itself can become a big opportunity for them. That once they become the master in these areas, knowledge and skill, they enhance these things. They themselves can become, like say for example, you might be aware of the Pradhan Mantri, the PM, the Namo Drone Didi scheme. Narendra Modi PM drone scheme. So in that Namo Drone Didi scheme, so that is only for the women farmers, women entrepreneurs. That, and in that also they are targeting the Krishi Sakhis. Krishi Sakhis means those who are the women para extension workers, those who are supporting the women, other women farmers in their community. So those progressive women farmers or the para extension workers. So they are identified as Krishi Sakhis, and the Krishi Sakhis are being trained on through this Namo Drone Didi scheme to learn all about drone. Not only just how to fly a drone, but how is it made, all the different parts, what is its function, repair, maintenance, everything they are learning, and manages the nodal agency noted by a partner of the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, because our institute, National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management, is an autonomous organization under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. So most of the ministry schemes are being implemented through manage. So we are trying to train these Krishi Sakhis in a drone operation, repair, maintenance, and everything about drone. And these master trainers, they will become master trainers. So firstly, they will become master trainers, and they will further train other within their community. And secondly, it becomes an entrepreneurial opportunity for them, where now they can buy a drone and can put it on hire basis. Any farmers in their community, if they want, she can hire it. If they can't do it on her, she can go to their field, apply their things, and charge consultancy and the service charge from them. So at the same time, it is giving two ways where she can directly become an entrepreneur in that. Secondly, she can be a master trainer to train others. So likewise in this also digital agriculture, they can learn all these, build their knowledge, skill, capacity, everything. They can use it for the growth of their own enterprises, as well as they can offer it as a consultancy services to others also. So whether it is agribusiness or in the e-commerce platform, or it is for data analysis purpose, or any for technology development, so they can use for all these things. But time to time, I have been focusing on their challenges also. That how where are our women farmers? Where are our women entrepreneurs? Are they able to make the use of this? The answer is definitely no, because of these following challenges, like limited access to resources. So I was giving an example of a smartphone. So we have conducted study last year between February to April in Uttar Pradesh, where we wanted to study the digital and financial literacy of women farmers, women FPOs, women collectives, etc. How much are they knowledgeable about it, and how much are they making use of it in digital and financial literacy. So for that, for the digital literacy component, we wanted to know that smartphone is one of the basic different gadgets that among the lifted. Smartphone is there, but they're owning it and using it. Sometimes it will be purchased for them, but the children will be using it for study, for games, for other reasons. But women may not have access to their own smartphone, mobile phone. So, laptop, desktop, tab, and all these things are far from the discussion, because we conducted study in rural areas. In cities, the things is not the same. But here, when we are talking about women entrepreneurs, women empowerment, I am focusing on the rural women who are either farmers or FPO members or any member of any women collectives. So that limited access to resources is one big challenge for them, that limits their the getting benefit from these digital media. And these resources can only their own knowledge and skill, their exposure, their participation in training programs, their credit that is their land, which is their land is very important resource, and because of that resource, there is a very other important resource, that is credit, becomes a challenge for them, because only 13% of the women own land in their name independently or as co-owner, but only 13% is there. And among that 13%, also we see that women are hardly having control over it in terms of decision making. If they are not free to decide that what they should do with their own piece of land, that is in the control of the other family members. So access is there, it is in her name, but control is not there. So these type of challenging resources limit their journey of entrepreneurship and making the most from the digital media. And when we talk about all these things, social and cultural barriers is all that matters. Because in gender, we say that gender is nothing but the social and cultural norms that has been set for in a given community. And these social and cultural norms limit women participation because of the too much of workload on at home, on farm, off farm. So they are hardly left with any free time that they will think of upgrading their knowledge, skill, or upgrading themselves. So these are the things. The cultural barrier is also there, where they limit that whenever it comes to mechanization, the things that come to our mind is that men farmers are to be there. It or manual work whenever, that's why it is said that mechanization in agriculture is a threat for women farmers. Whenever anything is substituted, manual work is substituted with mechanized work, women lose their opportunity to work there. Because whenever it is taken over by mechanization, the men comes into the main picture, main role. So this is this is there. So social and cultural values is also one of the key important factor that is limiting their participation. And of course, training and education, we have already discussed that we need to work a lot on organizing awareness programs, educating them, giving them training to upgrade their knowledge, keep themselves updated with the latest know-how technologies in their sector. But that does not happen. A lot of effort has to be given, and then of course market access challenges because of the social norms of class, caste. Women do not go to the far off market, at the most village market, or maybe the very nearby market they can go, but of course not in the physical market, which is far off, particularly the mandi and all, where brokers and middlemen and all will be there. Women will not be there. So they work from the beginning till the end, or that is from folk till the harvest, from the seed till the harvest, but they don't go and sell. So this is where they lose their economic empowerment. The income does not come to them, and they are not able to make the benefit of the time and the effort that they put, because their money goes into the hand of the person who goes to sell it. Yeah, and it doesn't come to the women's hand. So the media, digital marketing platform is one such way through which women farmers, women entrepreneurs can, without going anywhere, from the very comfort of their home, just by having a sound knowledge of the smartphone, they can do all trading, all buying, selling, networking with these different stakeholders, different input dealers. They can do very well with the smartphone. That is why we need to organize. Firstly, I think that we need to organize training programs on smartphone itself, that how they can make the best use of it through the smartphones. In that they are unable to make the online payment, because firstly accounts may or may not be in their name. If it is in their name, they don't have the access to the different login credentials, and also, and thirdly, since they are not having proper sound knowledge on that, so they are not confident of making transactions, fearing that it may go to the wrong account, they may lose their money, the money will be withdrawn from their account. So lot of such things are there. All these things has to be overcome by giving the proper knowledge, capacity building, awareness, and all. So, through this digital media, how women entrepreneurs' life can change? But definitely, as I mentioned, the digital market is one avenue, one pathway through which their economic empowerment can be enhanced, their own visibility in the marketplace can be enhanced. Otherwise, today, all 80% of the marketing will be done by the family members. So nobody knows that who did this. So because they don't have not seen the face, they remain behind the curtain, just like we have the background. Good movie will be made, but there will be lot of people who would have contributed back the stage, but the entire credit is taken over by the lead actor and the actresses. For them, it is like that. Women lose their credibility, recognition, visibility for that. So, but if it becomes digital, they can very well do it and be the direct point of contact for all such things. So definitely it is going to enhance their visibility in the marketplace. And it gives them a lot of ease to operate from the online platform without because other reason why they are not there in the physical market is that travel, so mobility is a concern. Firstly, safety, because mobility means safety. It takes time. So a lot of time will go in commuting from one place to another, going and coming back. So all these things are overcome, and when they are there, they are away from the family, from the children. So who are going to take care of the family, children, the work in her absence? So all these things are very well, by being at home, they can do it very well. So these are some of the things, and when they are coming directly to do the transactions, definitely they are building on the communities, the network, the relationship they develop, they expand. A lot of people come to know them directly, and networking and community building happens very easily. So this is one advantage, and that it gives to them. And of course, there will be a lot of skill enhancement in this online training. They will, the more they use, the more expert they become, because these digital world, digital gadgets, digital tools are something that the only when we use it, we try get to know the different features it has. Still, maybe that we are not able to use all the features of the smartphone. In the settings, if you go, we don't know all the different settings. So many things are there that we can use, but we don't know. So likewise, the basic things that they use, at least GPay, PhonePe, net banking, browsing and the different uploading, downloading, sharing things, writing mails. So many things are there that they can do. And this buying raw materials, selling their, uploading the pictures of their goods and services on the portal, and with price tag, with all those QR code, they can generate the QR code, they can barcode for the things. A lot of things are there that they can, skill can be enhanced only when they start using it and they start working on it. So there's a lot of such success stories are compiled by different institutions and different places, and we come across these brief profiles of all the successful women entrepreneurs who have given entered into agriculture and life sectors. Either they are giving consultancy services, they are doing their business through this, either B2C or B2B. They are doing it, and how these play out a very important role. This digital media has played an important role in their this journey. So here are some of the, because success stories coming from, we have to document lot and lot. If any ever we come across, then we have to get from the grassroots. That if any women farmer with any such FPU members, SHG members, if they are using it and they are making it, then definitely we need to share, document such, and we need to document, and we have to say. So these are some of the success stories which is there in the slides. You can go through it. I'll just take one or two. Like this is Sapna Anup Kumar, who is started found early. It is also an agri-tech startup, and it is providing them real-time monitoring and management solutions for agriculture. They are using IoT devices to analyze the soil moisture, temperature, and other vital parameters. And through these type of data, they are sharing with the farmers about their farm field, about their soil, and trying to optimize their inputs or the resources that they are doing, and reducing the wastage of excess use of this. So this is where I said that they can get themselves enhanced capacity in these digital media, and they can use it for their own growth and expansion and diversification, and also as a business on a business where itself, on these lines itself, that there will be further training and supporting those who cannot do or those who do not know, so they can support them. So likewise, in the Karika Gupta also Tathastu Kisan. So that is also one startup that empowers the farmers with technology-driven solutions. A lot of such, you can see agri-tech startups are there who are into providing them data-driven technology solutions, and they are enhancing them to weather forecasting, price forecasting, advisory services. So these are some of the major what they are doing is basically that they are using IoT and all the digital tools, media to provide them these type of services. So I'm skipping all this because some of the things which means the same, that they are using all these things. So digital media, when we talk about, we all know that e-commerce platform is there. Like for say, for example, we have a big basket, we have Amazon, Flipkart. These are all e-commerce platforms. So nowadays, any women entrepreneurs, if they are doing at certain scale where they can make use of these e-commerce platforms, definitely they should be supported and helped facilitated. That how can they display their products, how they can license with Amazon, Flipkart, Big Basket, these big e-commerce platforms. Put their negotiate with them, to communicate with them, to network with them, and put their products for sale through their already branded e-commerce platforms. So this is one way through which they can make use to grow and expand their enterprise. Social media is a very important tool. We all know that nowadays, if you look at the social media, where Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, and now Thread has also come. So many such Twitter, all these things are there. So they are making use of this for knowledge sharing, but also they are using it to grow their business. If a lot of advertisements will be embedded in all these things, and they are putting reels, they are putting posters and sharing knowledge, information, links of the different things. So these have become a major platform to build their business, to grow and expand their business. So women entrepreneurs also, particularly from those rural areas, they need to create awareness, build their capacity, knowledge, and skill, how they can use Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, Twitter, and all and other social media to promote their enterprise, to promote their business through these things. Then we have the online learning platforms. Where we Coursera and all these things that also can help them for self-learning. Suppose if the women farmers they are finding it difficult to go and attend some training program. Nowadays, online training has become very convenient, but at the same time, it is very, I would say, not a good media, because here also I had seen some 100 plus participants, but all are with black screen. No videos, no audio, just I'm talking and I don't know whether how you are there, whether you are there, you are not there. So that is one of the disadvantages of the online training. But for women farmers, when they have having a time poverty, they don't have enough time that they squeeze out some time and go and for their self learning, for upgrading their own knowledge and skill. Then these type of the online learning platforms can be useful, where they can go on their own pace. It is self-learning modules, like we have MOOCs also, where you can see that Manage also offers a lot of educational programs on MOOCs platform, massive open course, access course, online course. So these are so where time is a constant, where a person cannot designate their dedicated particular fixed time for it, then this becomes a best alternative. But definitely it is not a substitute for the physical training program. If the women farmers go for the physical training programs, these are all the skill-based things, hands-on type of things. The more they will practice, the better they will learn. But in the online platform, particularly those women farmers who are not so educated, not so much exposed to these prior knowledge, having prior knowledge, so online learning platform may not be helpful to that extent. But of course, for the our women entrepreneurs who are from in cities and towns, is a very good opportunity, alternative substitute for them, so they can go for this type of how they can build their digital capacity, their financial growth. And we have the government initiatives and forces. Lot of government schemes are there. Just I mentioned June Baby scheme is there, where they are trying to build the capacity of the Krishi cities in that. Likewise, lot of schemes are there with special provisions for women will be there, at least 30%. As well, gender mainstreaming approach, 30% has to be spent for the women empowerment, women upliftment, women mainstreaming. So that is also, and in any scheme subsidy, if it is there, women will be getting over and above what the other beneficiaries will receive. And then we have a lot of portals through which women can benefit. So these are some of the ways through which women can enrich themselves in the digital media in order to build and grow their business. So for the digital marketing strategies also, these type of things are like they can search engine optimization. Whenever we click on Google or we are trying, so we will see the few of the sites that open up. Why these few sites open up? Because they have paid more to them. they are the esteemed clients for them. So that's why whenever we search for certain things, their sites will open first. So this is the search engine optimization. How we can work on this? They should have an understanding of this. That when people search for a particular product X, Y, or service X, Y, Z, my site should be in the top 10 or top 5 like that. And for that, they need to pay, of course, premium price also charge they will be paying, but these are some of the ways by which they can. These are some of the very advanced, particularly those women entrepreneurs who have already started making use of the digital world. They are already into the digital marketing, digital platform, and then they want to further go a level beyond that. How their game, their business, their products will become more and more visibility. So this is one way. And social media marketing is there, which I have already discussed, that you can put up clips, reels, short videos, and promotional flyers, brochures, and all that, links sharing, all that in different things. And then whenever, and in that also, they are the features that they will be also displaying it as per the features, or as per the terms and conditions we accept. So accordingly, it will be popping up, or it will be displaying on their website. Content marketing is there for women who are not able to design their own content, because content is very important. The caption, because if you are putting up a 10-second reel, or a 10 just a very small 2 or 3 line message for your business promotion, content becomes very powerful, because the initial things that we are writing, that is what can catches the attention of the, and draws the customers towards the product. So content marketing is another opportunity for the women entrepreneurs to grow their business, and they can themselves be in this for the as a content creator, content designer. So the way they will design the content, I'm suppose having a my business, I know the digital media, but I'm not good at a content creation. So I will take a service of a content creator, professional content creator, or a designer who will create content for me, for my product, for my business, and they will make a profile, and they will be doing the marketing of it time to time. So this is a digital marketing strategy, how the women entrepreneurs can build more and more visibility for their business, for their entrepreneurs, by hiring content creators. So these are all very advanced things, and only applicable when the women entrepreneurs, they are already into the digital marketing space, and they want to bring more and more visibility. They want to grow their business by 3 times, 4 times, like that. And then we have the email marketing, where we are getting spam, these mails as spam, because the many emails we are receiving every day as a spam, that is a promotional email for them. They can have promotional SMS, bulk email. All these things are under WhatsApp, sharing the content on the WhatsApp. These are all other marketing strategies. So women entrepreneurs can use this to grow and expand, and to make more visibility of their business, as well as they can use all these things as one of the business entrepreneurial opportunity for them, where they can offer these services to other clients. So it is both way. And as I was mentioning, some of the government initiatives, and suppose Mudra Yojana is there. So Mudra Yojana is one of the government scheme. You can click and read all about all these things, where they get collateral free loan for the women. So women, even if they don't have any assets, property, land in them, still they can get the benefit from Mudra scheme, but through collateral scheme. And then we have Stand Up India scheme, Mahila Coir Yojana, and all these different schemes that is there. Udyam Shakti portal, and then we have economic empowerment of women in enterprises and startup by men, women, trade related entrepreneurship assistance and development, that is TREP. So some of these government initiatives supports that integrates entrepreneurial opportunities for them, and also digital, they have digital integrated into it. So these are some of the things. So building an online presence. Nowadays, you see that people are so much crazy about Instagram for followers, how many followers they have, how many YouTube and all that. That is becoming an online presence. How many followers and how many people are subscribing, how many people are hitting your videos and all that. How many? So all these things are becoming one way of your growing popularity and presence in these social media. So, like us, creating a professional website is very important for an online presence. You have created a website, but you haven't designed it, or it's not attractive, it's not complete. All the informations are not, it's only half. You suppose if you are opening the website of manage, and there you just see the management mission, vision, mandate, and that's all. And maybe some contact us and all this. So, does that make the visibility of manage? Of course, no. Because until unless we give details of all the faculty, all the staff, all the centers, all the activities, all the different programs that we are doing, how will people know that what is managed? So, likewise, for any entrepreneurs or women entrepreneurs, they should hire a professional website designer also, and or they can learn this and they can use it as an entrepreneur opportunity for others also. So, creating a professional website is very important, because this is the face of your organization, it is the face of your business, it is the is what is representing your professional thing. So that is very important, that it has to be very attractive and very well designed with all the important information. The importance of the quality content is also very important. That's what it is. So all the information latest, and if you are suppose you have opened your website and you don't update it with things as and when it is added to your company or your business, or things that activities that is happening in your, so it is very 2 years back, after that you haven't come back to your website to update anything, so it does not get anywhere. People will not so quickly move to some other because that's not the latest and updated one. So keeping our content to quality to date is also very important, and utilizing the social media for your business growth is also very important. So, how can we overcome these challenges with the digital media, digital technology, that addressing digital illiteracy? So, digital illiteracy is something we need to work on. We need to have rigorous capacity building programs, technical support, mentorship, hand-holding, for giving them digital literacy. And in entrepreneurial journey also, we have to handhold them and mentor them till they are confident of running their enterprise using all the features of the digital world. Until and unless we need to provide them support, both in terms of technical and in capacity building, and also we have to handhold until they are self-reliant. And we have to bridge the urban-rural divide also, because I am telling that whoever we see compare rural and urban women entrepreneurs, so there we can find a lot of such a case study where reference stories from urban areas, but in rural areas still there will be a gap. So the gap between urban and rural is also there within women also. Men, women, or it is evident, but within women also, if we look at the urban and rural, there is a divide between them. So we can see that not only the urban women are getting more and more updated, we have to consider the rural women also in this. So this is how we can ensure that overall women is getting empowered through digital media. Collaboration is very important, networking, mentoring, peer support, all these are very key important things in which makes their business grow at a larger level. Only through collaborations they can grow their business. That is why nowadays collaborations, partnerships, community network, they build a community and where they can be in that and they can support each other through knowledge sharing. So these are some of the things that is required, that you build a community of like-minded, like you have a closed Facebook group, you have a closed WhatsApp group, and there like-minded people will be there in that group, and they exchange knowledge and support each other. So that kind of networking is very important. Mentoring and peer support is also very important. Somebody who can mentor them, they who can support them and be there for them. Continuous learning, online courses, webinars, skill development programs, these are also some of the ways through which education, they can be empowered in education, because it all starts with awareness, then education, then their capacity building. So these are some of the ways by which they can be empowered in terms of education. Through continuous learning and online course, webinars, attending webinars, these are all mostly free, and only thing we have to spare time for them. Yes, other skill development programs. We also have to have supporting the women-led startups. Wherever we see that women-led startups are there, and if they are requiring our help, support, either in terms of technical, in terms of just capacity building, finance related, wherever it is, we have to be there, encourage their innovation, creativity, and the incubation centers and support. So nowadays, these startups and all are under incubation models. There will be an incubation center where these aspiring entrepreneurs will come, get trained, mentored, and holded for a duration until they are ready to go on their own. So these type of things will help. So lastly, I would say that women entrepreneurs, they have immense potential. They are good, and then wherever they take lead, they really good do good. Only thing is sustainability, because women entrepreneurs, they started with a lot of josh and motivation, but if things don't happen in the right way, if the proper family support is not there, if proper environment enabling factors are not there, they come down also very easily, and so the perishability of the women entrepreneurs prices are short. They will start, but many of them will close down after a certain time if they are unable to cope up with their home and business responsibilities. Family support is not there. Proper community encouragement is not there. So these things are there. So we have to overcome all the social, cultural barriers and their own barriers in terms of knowledge, exposure, confidence, awareness, all these things. So they have to overcome the challenges that is coming from their within, and the intrinsic and extrinsic. Both the challenges they need to come up so that they can really make the good use of the digital media. So I would like to conclude now. And if any questions are there and you have listened to it, please.
Yes, ma'am. Before concluding the session, we will open the chat box so participants can interact with you, and any queries, any questions they can ask to you, ma'am. So, participant, I have opened the chat box. You can drop down your queries.
Please let me know if you have any questions. I think you can do because lot digital agriculture is becoming there. We can do a study on how men and women are making use of the digital in what areas, to what extent, and what are the challenges, gaps. Of course, it can be a good study and relevant study. What are the different tools, technology that the farmers are using, what challenges they are facing, so that it goes to the right person that how digital agriculture is doing, and how it is able to meet their needs, and how what type of challenges they are facing in it. What type of further capacity building is required for, what type of training is required for them. So these things can be studied very well. Any more questions? Forestry for women empowerment. See, the forestry is one department that is very closely linked with the women farmers, because you know that women are the one who is, when we talk of gender roles, so community management is also one of the roles that is performed by women, where they reach out to the community to manage the resources, like they go to forest to collect a lot of forest produce, non-timber produce from the forest. So they also, like, they collect a lot of different types of seeds, gums, fruits, vegetables, leaves, and bark. So many things. They have a good knowledge of these different indigenous things that is available in the forest. So definitely some livelihood security can be given to them on these areas, that whatever the things that they collect from the forest, how it can be taken up as a enterprise, how, or if something value addition also can be done on that. So definitely it can be related with the forestry sector and women very well. Anyone else with any more questions? So if there are no questions, I think Madhuri, you can take it for now.
Yes, ma'am. They have done with the queries, I think, and if further we will get any query, I'll share with you, ma'am. So thank you so much, ma'am, on the behalf of everyone for giving your time and joining us today, ma'am. And I hope to have the chance to hear you from again in the future, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you all of you for listening to me, and I hope I would have contributed few 10 important things that you can use it in your time. And I also feel that most of them are students here, isn't it? So please use it.
Ma'am, can you share the PPT so I can circulate among the groups also, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah, definitely I'll do that. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
So I would like to welcome our next guest, Dr. Simarjit ma'am. So I would like to introduce her with you. So she is gold medalist, vision leader, researcher, strategic planning, policy making, execution, analytic skills, education management, curriculum designing, campus environment management. She's also having the leadership awards, special invite for the academic research, social awareness talks, and she's also committed to achieve excellence. And we talk about her current position. So she is insurance cell and Dean Students Welfare, head of the Department Life Sciences, Raj Bihar University, Mohali, and she has experience like 21 years, and she is having the patents 5 and MPhil award degrees under supervisions, and she's also having guided 100 plus PG and UG students. She has got 6 PhD awarded degrees and 8 PhD scholars registered, 20 plus startups initiated, 20 plus industrial projects, 100 plus research publication and book chapters, 500 plus workshop conferences, webinars are conducted. So I welcome you here, ma'am.
Good evening, Madhavi. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Thank you. Thank you. I have already shared a screen just to be on a safer side. Yeah. Thank you for very nice introduction. I really appreciate. So, without consuming much time, I would like to say today we are going to have a discussion on the food problems in India, where we will be discussing about the various challenges and the solution. And I can see the number of the participants. They are already there in the the room, and they are excited to hear about it. So it's going to be a very general topic of discussion, right? Very very basic topic of discussion, and we all are very much aware of the various issues that have been we have been facing in India, right? Especially when it comes to the food grains, food grain resources, or the right now we can see the farmers protest all over the India regarding this MSP, right? So number of the issues and the challenges are there. So let's discuss one by one, right? So food problem in India, we will be discussing right when it started. But before that, we need to understand when we say the food is required, why food is required, right? So some people they say just to they kill the hunger we eat food, but yes, the food is required for the proper growth and the normal functioning of our body, and it is required at each and every stage of our life, whether it's an infant stage or childhood, adolescent or adulthood. At each and every stage, the food is required. And let me tell you, 30,000 plant species can be used as a food, but only 15 plant species and 8 animal species, they supply 90% of our food. So this is the problem. When we say the food problems are there, so this is the main problem. There are 30,000 plant species that can be explored as a food resources, but we are not using those plant species. And likewise the animal species are there. And likewise 300 crops, they are grown for the food, like they can be commercially the cultivated. But most commonly what we eat rice, wheat, barley, maize and potatoes. So what we see on our dining table, these are the only variety of the food, but 300 crops that can be commercially cultivated and can be used as a food resource. So again, so this is also the one of the reason. Then fruits and vegetables, they are very rich in proteins, vitamins and minerals. But what happens, we never consider fruit and vegetables our main source of the food. What we consider it as a supplementary food when we don't feel like eating our routine food. Then we feel like, oh, it's a nutritive diet, so let's go for it. So fruits and vegetables could be our main food, right? Then domesticated animals, and due to some religious reasons, the the people, they don't eat egg or meat, which are very rich source of the protein. But milk and milk products, they are also the main food resource. But again, if I said in the beginning, there are the few, the food resources which are being used as a main food resources. Otherwise, like when it comes to the milk and milk products, yes, they are the favorites of everyone, but they never make the, the important, or the main meal of our diet. Likewise, the aquaculture, the production of the food from the aquatic, like the seafood, that is also one of the option. So you see, the ample food resources are available on this earth surface, but we never consider these food resources as the main, the sources of our food. So if I say the International Commission on the Irrigation and the Drainage, they have estimated like current food production would have to double within the next 25 years to meet the need of the increasing population in India. And we are the now highest populated country in the world, like with a population of 1.4 billion. So you see, to support such kind of, the population, we have to, double our production, the food production. So for that, again, we need to strategize the things, and we need to change our mode of consumption. That is very much required, because ample quantity of food is available, but anyhow we are not using it as our main source. This is the the latest, if I say, the global hunger index, global GHI, what we say. So in 2023, GHI of the India, that is 111th out of the 125 countries with sufficient data available. And this level, when we say the 111, so it comes to a score of 28.7 as a GHI index, which means India has a level of hunger that is very, very much serious, right? So let me take you to the, some statistical analysis of the data that is being done by the Food and Agriculture Organization. And this is especially with reference to the India, right? So according to Food and Agriculture Organization, 828 million people in the world, they are chronically hungry. So when we say the chronically hungry, that means these are the people who don't have access to 2 times meal in a day, right? So that data is 828 million, right? And mostly, out of this, the chronically hungry people, 783 million people, they are only in the developing nation. And when it comes to India, 195 million people alone in India, I'm talking about, like the 43% of the children, they are chronically undernourished in India. So when we say we are in the race of the developed nations, or when we say we are doing so good economically, and financial sustainability is there in the country, and when we look at the statistics, then we come to know, yes, still the number is on a very larger side, when the people, they don't have access to 2 times meal in a day. And an increase of about 48 million people since 2020, the 48 million people approximately, they have been added. So which means the number of this chronically hungry people, that has been increasing day by day, and 150 million people has been added since the outbreak of the COVID-19, after this pandemic. So yes, the data is very serious, and we need to think about it when we talk about the social sustainability is there, or the financial sustainability is there. So looking at these figures, we can see, when we say the as per this global hunger index, GHI, this is very serious issue in India. Yes, it is. So you can see in this picture, which shows a lot. So these are the people who don't have access to 2 times meal in a day. So let me connect these food problems with the health, because these are directly related, and this is going to be a quite beneficial for the the young generation who have been listening to this lecture. And let me tell you, dear, according to World Health Organization, average minimum calorie intake all over the world, that is 2,500 calories per day per person, which means 2,500 calories per day per person is required. Right. So this is as per the World Health Organization. when we say the types of food problems we have been facing, so that varies again from the countries, like they're the developed nation, underdeveloped nation, the nation which are in the, the developing stage. So when we say undernourished means this is the minimum calorie intake. So when a person receives less than 90% of this minimum calorie intake on a long term basis, it's not like in a day or two you are fasting and you didn't take the required calorie intake, you cannot say like you are undernourished, right? So on a long term basis, like if I say like for the 5 months, 6 months, or for 1 year, you have been taking less than 90% of this minimum calorie intake, then the person is said to be undernourished. And if a person receives less than 80% of this minimum calorie intake on a long term basis, then the person is said to be critically undernourished, right? So now when we say there are people who are doing good and who are doing well in their lives, and they say we are undernourished. No, if you are having a, the proper meal, like you are having a 2 or 3 meals in a day, that means you are not undernourished. But still, the today's generation, they are malnourished. Like when the people or the, the young generation, this is this starving in India. When we talk about, the 743 million people, so this is happening, right? And malnourished, you can be malnourished anytime, like you look healthy, but yes, you can be malnourished, and you are malnourished. And especially the young generation, we see they're anemic, they're having this, the goiter problem. Then, there is a deficiency of the protein, deficiency of the calcium. So you are taking 5 times meal in a day, you are into a junk food, you are eating pizza, burger, every kind of nutrition. So calories intake is not like 2500, calories intake is on a higher side, like you are having 3000, 3500, 4000 calories in a day. But still you can be malnourished, because there can be a deficiency of specific kind of, the minerals, the proteins, or the vitamins in your body. So that means you are malnourished. And for the malnourished, you are unaware of the things, right? Until unless some kind of, the symptoms are there, you are feeling weakness, and you are going for your complete body checkup, and then you come across the deficiency of certain vitamins and minerals is there. So yes, the today's generation, the people who can afford a meal, like they are affording 5 times meal in a day, right? But yes, still they are malnourished, and this is a very serious issue. So these are the examples of the malnourishment. You can see there could be a instant the weight loss, or there can be, the cracking of the bones, or some other kind of, the physical symptoms clearly visible on your body. Then yes, in the developed nation, this is also a very serious issue. And again, this is in the young generation, the overnourishment, right? So when your daily intake is above 3500 calories per day on a long term basis, it's not like that for a day or a 2 days you were having a party time and you had a more than the required calories. So you cannot fall into the category of the overnourishment. But yes, on the long term basis, if you have been taking over 3500 calories, then you said to be overnourishment, and that is where we say the actual problem arises, and you fall into the category of the obesity. Then it invites the diabetes, it invites other heart problems, right? Respiratory problems. So all other, the health related issues are directly with this obesity, and obesity, that is the result of the overnourishment, right? And when we say the lifestyle has been affecting our life in a, the serious way, so this is one of the example, when the young ones, they are into eating this junk food and not the nutritive diet, so they are overnourished, but at the same time they are malnourished, right? So whenever the doctor tells you you are having a specific deficiency of such kind of, the protein or vitamins, and you tell the doctor, I am having a proper diet. No, your diet, you are not taking a proper diet. It is just you are eating meals just to get the energy, no to the other essential nutrients. So when we talk about the balanced diet, that means we need to take all the essential nutrients which are very much required for the normal growth and functioning of our body, right? So let's say from where these food problems start is like when it happens, we discussed like the food problems and the health. the types of, as an individual, the kind of problems we face. Now, the actual problems, when we specifically talk about the undernourishment, like for those people who cannot afford meal, right? So when these food problems started, so we always say roti, kapda, and makan, right? So food, clothing, and shelter, these are the basic, the necessities of a person. So among these, food is the most important necessity, and no one can survive without food. Like for a days you can survive, but cannot survive for a long, right? So it is the prime duty of the every government to provide sufficient food to all the people of a state. And if a government fails to provide the sufficient and nourishing food to its people, that means we talk about it is going to be a state failure, right? So, production of the sufficient food grain is the responsibility of the government, so that the requirements of each individual is fulfilled. But again, at the ground level, the people are working, right? So we need to strategize the things accordingly, and we need to decide what kind of practices that we are going to adopt in our agriculture to enhance the productivity, right? So, beginning of the food problems in India, I'm just taking you a little bit back into the history. With the breakup of the Burma from India in 1937. So, first time the food problem in India arises in 1937 when the Burma was separated from the India. And Burma was the only source of the rice for India, right? And so, for the first time, the India has to import rice from the Burma. So, though earlier it was a part of India only, but as now it was separated, so India has to, first time had to buy the rice from the Burma. And uh, during Second World War, the Burma went into the hands of the Japan, right? So that further, aggravated this issue. And while we were fighting with this, the food problem, or the, the famine of Bengal, that is very much, the famous. And India subdivided into India and Pakistan, right, in 1947. So again, the issue was more, like it was out of the hands of the government. So this is the main, like if I say from the 1937, the problem started in India. Otherwise before that it was like we used to say कि ये इंडिया जो भारत है हमारा वो सोने की चिड़िया था, golden sparrow था. So when we look at these food problems right now, like what is happening right now, what happened at that time period, that is one of the, the things like that was supposed to happen, and that happened. But now what is happening, what are the various aspects, if as an Indian, if I'm looking at why this food problem is still persisting. So if I say the quantitative aspects are there, why? Because as I said, we are the highest populated country in the world, sporting 1.4 billion of the population, which means we are approximately sporting 20% of the total world population. But when it comes to the land resources, India is having only 2% of the total land area available, right, on this earth surface. And now you see how could this possible, like 2% of the land area is not sufficient to support 20% of the total world population. And beside this, the natural calamities are also there, right? So there is no doubt, due to the the advancement in the technology, the domestic production of the food that has been increased. But still, if I say, India has to import a large quantity of the food grains time to time from the other countries, and that is also putting an extra, the burden on the country. So quantitatively, if I say so, this is how we, the correlate the population and the land resources available. Then qualitative aspects, these aspects are somehow related more with the money, or the people who can afford. So yes, the people, they are not getting the proper balanced diet. If I say the balanced diet, that means the people, the rich ones who are having the knowledge. But yes, they are the ones who are more into having this, the junk food, and then they are the poor ones who cannot afford the meals, right? Then there are certain people who, due to religious reasons, they are not eating the proper diet, or they are not eating the meat or the other resources which are the source of the protein. Then, as I said, there's a lack of knowledge in the rich ones, and they are more inclined towards the junk food, and that is the reason the rich ones, they are more moving towards the obesity and the other kind of the health issues, right? So this is the qualitative aspects. Then we are having the distributive aspects, and this is one of the very I would say the serious issue, because this is the one factor which we can control very easily. See, the wholesale trade, that is not directly in the hands of the government, right? So that's why the black marketing is there. So due to that black marketing, the food grain is not equally distributed. So what happens during the season, the sahukars or the rich people or the middleman, what we say, they buy the food at very less prices from the farmers. And in the off season, when the food grain prices are very high in the market, they sell it at a higher prices, right? And again, the rich ones, they can afford it, and the poor ones, they are not in the position to buy those food grains, right? Though it is already bought from the farmers only, but at the end the farmers are not able to buy it back again. So distributive aspect, or if I say the black marketing, this is one of the the major issue for creating these food problems in India. uh, then we are having the economic aspects. Yes, with the implementation of the seventh pay commission, no doubt the average income per person has increased. But at the same time, if I say the prices of the food grains, they are soaring very high. So that increase is not proportionate, right? So the result is that most of the people in India, they are not in the position to afford the purchase of the balanced food grain in sufficient quantity, because that equality is not there, that proportionate increase is not there. We always say, the government says there is an implementation of the the latest pay commission is there, and now the salaries of the people, they have been increased. But you always, whenever you analyze, you see, if the salary is increased, at the same time the prices of the food prices, they are at some another level, right? So this is a kind of vicious cycle, जो जितना बढ़ता है वो घूम फिर के फिर से वहीं पे चला जाता है, जिस अकाउंट से वो आ रहा होता है, right? So yes, this is also one of the major issue when we say the economic aspects. So these are the brief, the causes. If I say the causes of the food problem in India, population, no doubt, this is one of the major reason. And if I say in the last decade, the India has added more than 181 million people, equal to the population of the Brazil. So see, so this is how we are progressing, right? So here we need to put a control. Then agriculture productivity is not that much as required, due to some the reasons. Floods are there, then droughts are there. Right now we can see, right? So expansion of the agri business. See, when we talk about the agroforestry, we always say the people, they should invest more into the agri business. They should come into this agripreneurship. We are encouraging agripreneurship, yes, but I also feel there is a negative aspect of the agri business, because the people, they are more into growing the kind of the commercial crops, or the commercial the trees which are quite beneficial for them. So they are not into the the business of growing food grains. So when we talk about the food problems, that means we need food grain, right? Food grain is required to curb the hunger of the people of our country. So expansion of the agri business, that is supporting the economic or the financial sustainability of our country. But somehow it is going against, when we say we need to enhance the agriculture productivity. Then, yeah, the natural calamities. And right now in India, we can see the one state is facing this, drought-like situation, and the other states, they are, the flooding. I would like to, put a comment on the same, and this is one of the clip. And I always discuss this one, ki jisme the person is telling to his wife कि भारत रत्न तो हमें मिलना चाहिए, इतनी महंगाई, भ्रष्टाचार, आतंकवाद, गरीबी, बेरोजगारी के बावजूद भी हम जिंदा हैं. So this actually puts a question mark on our integrity, right? So we are in the stage of going to be a developed nation, and where we talk about the GDP is increased, and but at the same time we are ignoring the global hunger index. At the same time we are ignoring the kind of issues have been faced by the the general public. And when we say like this type of like 743 million people, they are living below the poverty line. So yes, this actually puts a question mark on us. So what the government has been doing, I've been going to discuss a few of the food policy of the government of India. Yeah, the government has been doing a lot, trying to do a lot to overcome this kind of issue. So to increase the production of the food grain, for the 5-year plans of the government, agricultural development has been accorded the top priority, right? So government has launched several programs to enhance the agriculture productivity. Like they are more into now intensive farming, they are into the multi-crop program, the research institutes are there, so they are developing the high yielding variety of the seed, intensive use of the fertilizers. Now we are more into the organic farming. So basically to increase the food productivity or the food grain productivity, and as a result of these efforts the production of food grain has increased. But as I said, the population increasing at some another level. So yes, that is one of the issue, like the productivity, food grain productivity is increased, but you see, they look at the population, where is it is going to stop, right? So that is should be our prime responsibility, right? Then import of the food grain, yes, to meet the shortage of the food grain, the government has been importing food grains time to time from the other countries also. So yes, anyhow, they are trying to make a balance and to bridge the gap. Then procurement of the food grain. The government, there is a system the government has adopted to procurement of the food grains. And under this system, the government procures food grain from the market every year, right, from the farmers. And this is what we always listen, the MSP, the minimum support price, that is announced by the government every year. But that is only for the important food grain crops, not for all the crops, right? So that is a very good policy, like MSP is there, but it should be, I think that is my personal opinion, on all the food grain, the crops. The reason is, like as I said in the beginning, the 30,000 plant species can be used as a food, and the 300 crops can be commercially cultivated. So that is the reason farmers, they are hesitant in growing or trying some other kind of the food varieties or the food grain crops, considering like they will not be getting the MSP, right? So they are not doing any kind of the experiments with the, when we say we need to go for this, the alternate type of the, the crops. So that is possible only when MSP is there on each and every kind of crops, and that actually it helps in protecting the farmers against the malpractices of the traders, commission agents, and at the same times it also gives them a sense of security, right? So yes, procurement of food grain is there, but only of the important food grains. Then public distribution of the food grain. Yes, the government has started this fair price shops. They are opened by the government, and these shops, they supply rice, meat, sugar, edible oil, even the kerosene oil to the people at a controlled prices. So this is also, the public distribution of this public distribution system to ensure the fair distribution of the food grains at the controlled prices. So this is really a very nice step by the government. Then buffer stock scheme, that is started by the government, and they maintain the buffer stock of the important grains. So whenever there is a rise in their prices, the government releases them from the buffer stock to stabilize the prices. But it's not that much effective. But somehow, as I said, the The middlemen, they store in their godowns, right? So they are the ones who sell the food grains at the higher prices. So the government also release the food grains from their buffer stock, just to stabilize the prices. So these are very much normal. These are days, and they have become a very normal part of the food policy of the government of India. Then establishment of these specific institutions. As I said, like the government, they are doing experiments to introduce the new variety of the high yielding variety and disease resistant variety. And government has established many the specific institutions to promote this agriculture productivity. So Nature Seed Corporation, like Agro Industry Corporation, then we are having Fertilizer Corporation of India, FCI. So these are the specific institutions that have been started by the government, which is a very good step. Like if we cannot, we need to control, of course, our population. But yes, if the population is already there, then definitely we need to find the alternate ways to feed the population. So then Agriculture Research and Development Institutes, and everybody is aware of the ICRA, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, have been established to undertake the research activities. Now the government has started this, the research institutes into the agriculture universities also, right? And they have been doing a lot of research, and the government projects are there just to find out, the kind of the varieties which could be very sportive and in a minimum time to give the maximum productivity. So yes, this is also a very good investment on the part of the government of India. But if I say how we can enhance the food grain production, so we need to focus more on the intensive agriculture, right? When we are doing this, the Krishi Manthan, so we need to think about it, how we can enhance this, the agriculture productivity. So by providing more irrigation facilities, or we can have a use of the latest technique in the agriculture. There are many, you will see the farmers, they are not up to date. They are not using that IoT or artificial intelligence up to that level. Maybe they are not in the position to, to afford it. But yes, this is one of the, the main thing to enhance the productivity, that we say is the precision farming, where we are using the latest technique in the agriculture, and at what time, at what cost, and at what temperature, moisture, water, the kind of, the condition is required, and that is to enhance the productivity. So nowadays, the people who are into this agri business, they are more into this practice of the precision farming. Then yes, rather than using the synthetic fertilizers and the pesticide, we could go for the eco-friendly insecticides and weedicides. So they are very much available in the market. Or the, the farmer, they should adopt the organic farming, they should adopt the culture of the natural manure, right? So these are few of the, the things which can be used by the farmers to enhance the agriculture productivity. And at the same time, it also maintains the nutritional quality of the seeds also, right? Then population, yes, this is in our hands only. So yeah, for that we need to spread the awareness among the masses, and we need to tell them about the benefit of having these small families. So we should promote the family planning programs, and yes, to spread the awareness. And we should improve our distributive system. So this is the role of the government, and wholesale traders should be directly in the hands of the government only. So this is the only one way where we can put a ban over the black marketing of the food, right? So resources should be developing for the food grain storage by the government, right? Then we need to improve our agriculture management. Like training should be given to the farmers and the agriculture authorities. See, um, these are the kind of, the platforms where we have been discussing about such kind of things, what should be done, what should not be done. And farmers should be the part of such kind of, the training programs, where they can be aware about the kind of, the things they can do, the enhance the productivity, right? So training should be provided to them only. That is very much required. Or what we do now, right now, you guys are attending the training. So the benefit of attending this training is when you go out there in the field and spread awareness, like among the farmers or the people who are not in the position to attend such kind of training programs. But yes, you are the ones who are equipped with the knowledge, equipped with the technical skills, and you could go out there in the farmers and tell them what to do, what not to do, right? And yes, the government, they should provide the easy loans and the insurance facilities to the farmers. That is also very much required, and the farmers struggle a lot to get the loan. And this is so heartbreaking to hear the news every day. We hear like the farmer committed suicide due to loan, or he was not able to pay the loan back. So this is a sad, the side of this agriculture, right? So there the government should intervene, and the support of the government, that is very much required. So the this policy of the loan, it should be much more easier for the farmer. And of course, the people who can afford this, the food, they should be more inclined towards the the balanced diet, and they should change their mode of consumption. When we say there is a deficiency of the food grain in the market, so they are the people who are having access to the alternate sources of the food, right? So there the people need to invest. Like if I am having the capacity to go for the alternate sources of food, like I need to change my mode of consumption, rather than consuming the wheat, barley, or the potatoes. So these are the things which are the food grain, for I wouldn't say for the poor people, but yeah, the people who can only afford such kind of diet. So we need to explore alternate sources of the food also. Then sustainable agriculture practices, it plays a very important role. I have already said we need the farmers, they need to move towards this, switch toward the organic farming. And in India we are having a number of examples, like even in the state Punjab, there are number of farmers who are into the agri business, and they have adopted this sustainable way of farming, and they are into this organic farming system, and they are really doing very good, right? So yes, rather than using the synthetic pesticide and the fertilizers, we should use the biopesticides and the biofertilizers. And the farmers, they are much more capable to have their own verming compost or the natural manures, and they can prepare their own compost, right? And rather than burning, the stubble, burning, the farmers, they can simply do the plowing in the field, and that could add an extra the nutrients to the soil. And likewise, the farmers, they can adopt the process of the mulching, and that is also the green cover. So many of the farmers, they are in this the system of the this the agri business, or into the organic farming. So we can go for the precision farming. As I said, the IoT is playing really a very the great role in enhancing the agriculture productivity. But yes, the farmers with a less land, they are not in the position to go for this precision farming. But yeah, the corporate farming can be suggested. Then crop rotation and intercropping. Again, for this, we need to, rather than growing the same crop every year and the soil become deficit in specific kind of the, the micronutrients. So what we can do, we can do this crop rotation and intercropping, and mulching I have already discussed. Then verming composting, the many farmers, they have been using the verming compost. In the hilly areas, they can go for the practice of the contour farming, which helps in the soil conservation as well as in the water conservation. Rainwater harvesting, yes, where there is a deficiency, when we say the deficiency of the water is there, and it's very difficult for the farmers to irrigate their lands. But right now, if we see, the floods are everywhere, so there is no deficiency of the water. Then floating farming, that is also being adopted in many of the states. Vertical farming, that is suggested because, as I said in the beginning, the quantitative aspect is there, where we are supporting the 20% of the world population and 2% of the land area is available. So yes, vertical farming is going to be a boon of hope, if I say a ray of hope. Because horizontal farming is failing at some stages, or in some states, right? So what happens in this vertical farming, mainly the spaceships or the skyscraper, they are being used. And this is being done under artificial climatic conditions. So basically the crops are grown under a very controlled conditions, right? So this is more focused on doubling the land fertility rather than doubling the land area, right? So we are going vertical rather than going the horizontal. But this type of farming, this is the mostly used for the personal or the community use rather than for this, the wholesale production. But yeah, this is really a very good thing, and the many people, they have been adopting this vertical farming. And to curb the undernourishment, the government has already started this midday meal scheme, and we all are aware of it. And balanced diet, that is very much required, and we all are educated ones, and we know the importance of eating the nutritive and the balanced diet. So yes, for the young generation or the people who have been listening to me, so just avoid eating this, the junk food, and change your mode of consumption, right? So try to have some balanced diet, and balanced diet, trust me, it's not costly. For the people who are having their farms, they are already much more inclined towards the balanced diet. They are having access to the salad, the variety of salad, the vegetables. So they are much more into this kind of, the balanced diet. Yes, the people living in the cities or in the urban area, they are the ones, or the people whose lifestyle is affecting their, the health in a adverse way. The people who are working and having jobs day and night, so they are the ones who are more inclined towards the kind of the junk food. So yes, we need to change our lifestyle, and if we cannot change our lifestyle, like, yeah, we all have to work, uh, because we all need money, and we need money to eat food, right? But what type of food we eat, that all depends upon us, right? So again, you all need to make a very, the wise choice while choosing your meal. So let's reach to the conclusion. If I say the role of the government, yes, the government has succeeded in solving the food problem and in checking the food grain prices. But this again puts a question mark, right? So many of the short-term measures taken by the government had been, if I say, successful to avert the food problems. And but again, if I say the minimum amount of the food in areas suffering from famine condition and checking rise in the prices of the food grain, but yeah, in adverse conditions, it is not able to solve it. Like somehow, to some extent, if I say the government is successful, then the use of the new agriculture strategies appear to be successful for some time. थोड़े टाइम के लिए लगता है कि yes, it is going to be a successful, or it is successful. But if we see in the last 2-3 years, the prices of the food grains, they are rising steadily, right? So this is mainly because of the heavy deficit financing and large increase in the money supply in the country, right? So inflationary jo conditions hai, that is also responsible some of the food problems in India. So, unless the government gives attention to this point, the problem of the food and the food grain prices, it will assume the proportional of prices. So, it's not only about, if I say, the money, or, as I discussed earlier, the natural calamities are there. So, this is a part and parcel of life. But strategies should be like this only. Like, we need to enhance the agriculture productivity. So we need to control the firstly, we need to control our population. See, the land area is limited, that we cannot increase. Fine. So at least we can control our population, right? So land is sufficient, but it is not sufficient to support this number of population, right? So here we need to think about it. So that is our role. We need to control the population. We need to spread the awareness regarding this, and also we need to adopt the kind of, the agriculture practices. The number of, the ways are now available, And through these kind of platforms, you guys can come across the number of the things which can be, the used, the practices can be adopted to enhance the productivity. So that is the only solution, right? So I guess that's all for today. I'm having. Thank you so very much. And at the end, I have added this one slide when we all talk about the sustainable agriculture. I don't know how many of you are aware of the definition of the sustainable agriculture, but how I look at this, that is about the social sustainability, environment sustainability, and financial sustainability. So when I say the social sustainability, that means I am saying like it should be like equal accessibility. Each individual must have the equal accessibility to all the type of the food resources, right? Then I would say that the social the sustainability is there. And when I say environmental sustainability, that means optimum utilization of the resources, natural resources, so that these can be preserved for our future generation. And financial sustainability means like the practices that actually supports the economic growth of the country, but without affecting the social and the environment and the cultural aspects of the society. So see, all these factors are interrelated with each other, the social, financial, and the environmental sustainability. So when we are able to accomplish all these three factors, then only we are in the position to say yes, we are now in the process of having a sustainable agriculture. Thank you so very much. God bless you.
So before concluding the session, dear participants, our chat box is open. Those who are interested to ask any question, have any query, please ask in our chat box.
Any questions are there? So shall we end the session?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. On behalf of everyone, I want to say big thank you, ma'am. Your contribution made this session extraordinary, meaningful, and memorable.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you, everyone.